There it is. We are alive. The red button of liveness. Everybody, welcome to the Data Center News Show. I am wearing my son's gaming PC thing because I've been having microphone issues. Let's see if this one works.
It's a great
We shall see. We shall
Sounds
see.
good.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Data Center News Show. We're going to talk about all fun things data centers. And I'm going to let my guests, my regular guests, introduce themselves and shelves. We're going to they introduce themselves. And it'll be awesome. Go ahead, Sean.
Hello, everyone. Sean Farney, VP of Data Center Strategy at JLL in the Americas, coming at you live from rural Wisconsin, where we have some sun this morning, and I can see grass for the first time in a long time. It's wonderful. Talking about all things data centers. I got to jump at the 30-minute mark, so I'll just join you for a little bit here. But
Awesome.
Who doesn't want to talk about Edge on a Thursday?
Exactly. I mean, it's like, why
Love
not?
it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Marty.
Is it Edge Thursday?
It's Edge Thursday. It's Edge Thursday. Yeah.
Marty Rankus from Johnson Controls Performance Infrastructure. So we do design, build, install, operate, maintain of infrastructure for data centers. Coming to you from Nashville, Tennessee, and it's been green here for a while outside of the horrible ice storm we had and $28,000 worth of frozen pipes at my swimming pool. But other than that, it's a beautiful day in Nashville right now.
Did that happen when you were at PTC? Did that
Just got back. Yeah.
Brutal.
That is, I'm not, water is the worst, but I can't think of a more perfect first world problem scenario than getting back from Hawaii to see that their pool pipes have frozen.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I was 48 hours earlier, I was drinking Mai Tais on the beach, and now I'm dealing with my frozen pool pipes. Yeah. Clutch a little violin. Right.
I know, exactly. All right, Howie, your turn, buddy.
Brutal. Hey, everybody. Howie Berry, Avis and Young. I run the National Data Center Platform here at AY. And as you can see below me, we have land with power. So
look at that. Exactly. Call Howie. He's got
Email
land with power. Exactly. All right. Well, I'm going to start the show off with, I tried a little experiment on Facebook. And I sit there, put out a post that, hey, there's a lot of misinformation about the data center industry. Like we pollute your water, we suck your wells dry, we make your bills go up. And it blew up right in front of my face. And more than I ever thought. I mean, I was like, oh yeah, we'll have some people that might. No. 80 comments later. I am a liar. I am dumb as AF. All this other things. And I'm like replying to these people. I'm like, I'm not dumb. I'm getting my doctorate in technology at Purdue, you crazy people. But I was just like amazed at is there no civil discourse in the world anymore? Like, can't we have a debate on something and maybe we might learn something? No, it's like this is the best one. I was called the Pam Bondi of data centers. Because
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You should get that tattooed.
I should. That should be my tagline, the Pam Bondi of data centers. I was just like, what the hell? But it is amazing to me, the amount of people and the amount of and they hold on to it. Like it's, in San Marcos, Texas, just south of Austin, they just voted down a $1.6 billion data center. And the Hayes County judge was all proud about it. And it was just, we've got to do something, y'all. We gotta do something, y'all. So anyway, I'm throwing that one
178 comments.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Someone has to. Someone's got to talk about it. Like, dear God. Like, yeah.
We have land that got killed because of public scrutiny, and they're trying to outlaw data centers in Indiana now. Indiana put a moratorium, no data centers, because Prologis came in and just mowed through, I guess, and just there's problems going on in Indiana. Same thing. I was like, I got emails from people, just this weird stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting thing. All right, so I just had to comment because that was hilarious. That was like me just doing little old me, just putting out a post out there, and it was like, hey, this is all the minute. What do you want to know? I was trying to be nice. I was like, what do you want to know? Let's just have a conversation. But no.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of this has been the industry's responsibility for education because there's so much negative out there, and certainly plenty of positive voices too. But it's been years, and I think a lot of these deals just happened and people didn't even know, and
Mhm.
so I think it's the industry. Big part of this industry responsibility to educate them.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, Sean.
It is, and we're bad at it because we're too busy
Hmm.
Right.
building the 21st
I
century.
I know, right?
We're employed, and this is outrage culture because it's all fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's in Wisconsin, it's data centers are going to empty Lake Michigan because they use water, which they don't, and data centers are going to double your power rates. No, that's because the grid hasn't kept up with, hasn't done upgrades in 30
This
years.
is so good.
And there's particulate emissions and this and that. It's all based on falsehood. So we need to do something. Certainly a much better job at cheerleading and enumerating all the good stuff. There's so much community impact in the best kind of way, whether it's tax base,
Mhm.
jobs, the trades love data centers, the schools we build. I bought a new water main for the city of North Lake, Illinois, when I built a data center there. Microsoft does training programs. Internet bandwidth goes way up. Like so, you will see, and we saw a few weeks ago, Microsoft kind of was the first one at the hyperscale level to go public with here's how our data centers are good, pursuant to some comments from the current administration. All the other hypers are lining up to do the same thing, and we will win this battle. The truth will set us free on this one
Yep.
because the truth is a great thing about data centers. We've obviated all of the problems over the last 30 years. We're the most efficient asset class in real estate. We can show you all the numbers. And by the way, the air conditioning in your house and in the office you work at consumes twice as much power than the data centers do globally every year. So there's a lot of other fingers to point, so to speak. I made the comment on Mark Thiel's. Lots of comments on LinkedIn these days about this, and I made a comment about how much water golf courses waste every year, and no one talks
Exactly.
about that. So
I know.
we're going to win this one, but it's a pertinent topic for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't
We
know what
could
it's
go
going
up
to take.
against the almond farms.
Oh, do you?
Avocados
Almond
too,
farms
right?
that are using all the
Avocados.
water. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
No,
absolutely. Yeah. Because here in AWS is building in Gilroy, and then the community got up and said they're going to use all the water. I'm all, did you look at the EIR report? It says they're only using 20,000 gallons a day. Here's a report. It's like
yeah,
they're not using water, and actually that water is getting recycled back into the system.
yeah.
I think Sean, you hit the nail on the head with when you said you rebuilt a water main. We've seen some success out there when they come into the community and say, what do you need? What does the community need? And then work together and work with them. We do a lot of stuff with the municipalities, and we're working on some projects now where we're going into universities. They have stranded power, and they're going to build a building, build a data center, have a classroom in there, use that power, use that space, and then the kids will have access to see a real live working data center and have a classroom in there. So how do you give back to whatever community it is? So there's something people can see and touch and feel and go, oh, this is fantastic.
And instead of just complaining, Mr. or Mrs. Data center activist, just turn your phone off and never use it again.
Exactly. Like that's what I usually end with. It's like, do you realize you were using Facebook to complain about data centers you would not be able to use? Like, oh my God, I'm just like, I go to town on them. It's hilarious. Cracks me up. Okay, let's talk about edge sites.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
and there was this article talking about how we can use telecom radio towers, TV towers. This is like the next greatest thing about site selection, and it's already there, and blah 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 blah. And I did a little bit of research, so I called my buddy John Coster, who was at T-Mobile, used to be at T-Mobile, and then I just talked to somebody from Crown Castle. They have a lot of freaking towers everywhere. And this is not plausible, partly because they don't have enough land around those damn towers. And then two, it's like just because it's connectivity doesn't mean there's power there. Like it's so I always find it funny when people kind of bring these up. But what would be something like that makes sense where edge sites could just, is it retail locations that have a lot of space? Is it, I mean, I've been reached out to by some large retail owners that the grid has been asking them to put battery solutions in their parking lots to add to the grid. So could it like a modular edge site co-locate next to that too, right? If they're going to do that. And so just thoughts. I want to throw that one out there. What are you thinking? What are you seeing, Howie? Any small little data center stuff?
Yeah, my idea is since COVID, hotel um, uh, use has been down, and I think there's extra space there, and you could put a modular data center in a great edge location, in any one of these hotels, because those guys are looking for revenue.
Interesting. I didn't think about hotels. Interesting. Are you seeing anything, Marty?
Yeah,
I just gave that away. Whoever takes that idea, cut me in.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but I already got the domain, Howie, so too late. Yeah,
Sure.
we're working.
I'm here to support you.
Yeah, I know you are. We're working with a state that has multiple sites, and I mean they have a lot of sites, and
Mm-hmm.
we've found a developer who's very interested in some of these. And as you said, some of these sites are too small to build anything on. They have absolutely zero power. Obviously, you can't do anything with that at all. But when you go through some of these state-owned sites, you can find 10, 20, 50 sites that have enough power for something small and like an edge data center. And I think it would lend itself towards something that's very modular. There's a company that I've been talking to lately called Velox, VELOX, and they can put 3 megawatts in a single shipping container, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. So obviously your chiller's on the outside and there's some things that have to happen, but I think you can get quite a bit of compute space in a pretty small space. So obviously you have to have the power. So I think the physical space is becoming less of a factor, just my experience.
So is the state thing, is that a reaction to the federal government offering up federal land? Is it the state taking a page out of the federal government's book and
Yeah.
are they just needing the compute?
They're needing the compute.
Oh, interesting.
The developer wants the distributed compute.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, you're going to have the space for obviously whatever modulars there, whatever's coming in, but you're also going to have space for more than likely behind the meter power gen something. Like you're going to have a little bit of space for whatever it is you're going to do outside that building.
I mean, for this project, they're only going to the sites that have enough power.
Oh, okay. All right.
Once you start talking about, as you guys know, once you start talking about on-site power, all of a sudden, oh, geez, you're going to need space. I mean, you're dropping in your recips or your fuel cells or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need space to do all that. So that changes the equation.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Sean, your turn, buddy.
It's been interesting to watch the development of data center site selection and size over the years. Essentially, what it comes down to is, the answer is wherever it's easiest. We've been building large greenfield because of scale effect for 20 plus years. I do think because of the comments around size and density, because you can get, I say, a megawatt in your living room now. I do think we will see a smaller form factor arise. So I think all sizes, where it's easiest to deploy, will be the next form factor. And I, I I firmly believe that this rising tide of data center build will lift all ships, and there'll be no cannibalization of data center form factors. So we're going to continue to build 11 gigawatt campuses in Texas, and 10 to 20 to 30 megawatt AI GPU deployments anywhere there's power and a building. I think we'll really kind of see a rainbow effect going forward. We can't keep up with the rate of data creation and absorption. There are now different use cases which do require certain latency. So I think they're going to go everywhere, and could be hotels. I tried to put them in Sears and Kmart's years ago. I think we'll see them in office space, wherever there's some marooned power and a parking lot. But more and more, I'm seeing, for all the right reasons, the rise of modular. And again, density helps that argument quite a bit. And we're going to see opportunistically, particularly while there's this gap in mid-size, so 5 to 15 megawatt GPU dense facilities. When that opportunity is unfilled like it is today, we're going to see opportunistically the development of 5, 10, 15, 20 megawatt sites that are under the radar, the hyperscalers and the brokers, because it's too small of a deal. Where there is stranded power, there's some parking lot, fibers everywhere, poof. I think we will see thousands of AI data centers pop up all over the place. And then we'll go to the next phase, which ultimately, in my dream aspirational world, is the humanoid robot in your house that you own that has a built-in data center and stays by your data center assistant. You'll have a 97 petabyte data center just right here in your house, and then the robots take over at that point. But it's all good for the space, though.
It is.
All joking aside.
Yeah. No, it is. Did you see the robot that has been active in the BMW facility? It's a humanoid robot doing a very tedious task. And it's worked over the last 5 months. It's worked over 1,500 hours. And is 99% accuracy and didn't have zero human intervention. It just did its job, and it sorted, and it took a human's job away, but it was grunt work. It was awful. It was in the most dangerous environment inside that factory, and they put a robot and made a robot do it, which I find interesting. And
I think what's interesting about that, Amy.
Yeah. Go.
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, I'm assuming they're deploying robots also in data centers. I've seen some, but yeah, go ahead. Go, Howie.
Well, I was going to say, because, now that we've figured out, obviously, AI agents are coming up and there's the development, everybody's jumping on the let's develop an AI agent. And that for every one employee, you're going to pay about equally the same amount as their wages and tokens just to run an AI agent alongside them. I see that we're going to probably have cloud is probably going to move back to, it's probably going to be on-prem, because you want your data to be proprietary to you. You don't want it out in the cloud. So I think cloud is going to start to move back on-prem. It's going to be a lot more around security as these AI agents get developed, because, how do you control your data?
Nah, that's fair. No, that's fair.
Problem.
Yeah, I mean, but most of the LLMs that they're using on those agents, they're all on the cloud, right? Like OpenAI and Claude and all of them, they're providing that service. So it's hosted there, right? So it's interesting. Go, Marty.
I mean, I mean, you raised some good points. How I think a lot more will be on site and in the device itself. You know, Sean, you said, hey, every robot's going to be its own data center. I think there's some truth to that, where you're going to have you'll have the learning models built into the robot, because there's no room for latency. I mean, you're sorting parts at a BMW factory. Everything needs to be riding on that device. And if you can take that model and crunch it down to this is all this LLM does is sort nuts and bolts. That's all it does. So you don't need, I don't need a whole, GPT-5. I just have a much smaller, very highly focused LLM. And I think that's kind of a part of the future where AI is going to go. It's going to be super, like Sean, I wrote down your quote, thousands of data centers everywhere. And I think that's what's going to happen. These data centers might be super small that just have very specific tasks that they run, or they might be, gigantic when you just say, hey, I'm planning me a trip to Rome. It's like, okay. My thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think we don't know where the hell it's going to go. That's the thing. That's what's like so cool about this industry is we're making it up. Like, no, we're not making it up, but it's changing every day, right? And we can't wait I don't know what NVIDIA is going to come up with next. And by the way, who the hell do they have over there making all these different chip designs? And like, they must have an army of people going through this, or maybe they had them in their back pocket and they just haven't decided to release them yet. I don't know, but it seems like it's changing exponentially faster. Like it was like, oh, it would change every couple of years, and now it's 12 months. Now it feels like it's every 3 months something new is happening to me. Am I like delusional? Sean, am I delusional? No.
No, not at all. That's the plan. It's a process of roadmap. The tail is wagging the dog now. Chips are determining what data centers are doing. But just to tie off on the last point, I think it's really interesting, having done all this stuff for a long time, seeing the patterns. And I kind of joke that, a funny thing happened as we're building out the cloud data centers, for the last 15 years. We all got a data center that we carry in our pocket now. And the point is, data is everywhere and will continue to be everywhere. And in rising tides, we will see cloud data centers, local data centers, phone data centers, robot data centers. Think about your own data. I've got copies of probably all my data on my Surface right here, up in the cloud, on memory sticks. Half of it's on my phone. I back it up, so there's like another 10 versions of it. That's not changing, particularly as these new generations consume more data and in more ways. So it's just goodness for the whole industry as it grows. And it really kind of mirrors the development of storage. Back from the mainframe days, it used to be that all storage was directly attached in direct attached online storage. Then we went to client server, where servers were spread out with storage, and then we had NASs, and then we came up with memory sticks, and then we had big hard drives, and data is all over the place. We haven't figured this out at all, and it will continue to be nearline, online, and cold, warm, and hot. Data is just going to be spread all over the place, and I don't think anyone has the patience to manage data like we did in the 80s and 90s. So
not at all.
This stuff's going to be everywhere, and it is still a research project. We don't really know yet until we get to quantum, when we can, we don't even know what we can do with quantum yet, but then things change radically around both compute and storage, and it's a whole new paradigm. But again, it's a good time to be in the business, and certainly a good time to be investing in the business. Yeah,
I had lunch with my friend Beth. She's the principal data architect at Realtor.com, and Beth's awesome. And she was like, she goes, every place I've been to, they all say their data is a mess. She goes, but they don't want to go through the painstaking process of fixing it. Right. And she'll get in there and go, you don't need to do this. And you don't. And so she's been handling data architecture for a very long time, but it is true. I think most people think their data is a mess, but if you don't go through that process and trying to attach an AI or an AI agent, all it's going to do is put a big old spotlight on your data. But the more data we have, the more data centers we need. It's always a good thing, I guess. And, I think you should back it up 12 times, Sean, like not 10. Like it needs to be 12 at least. Back up the same data 12 times. I don't know. Very cool. Let's talk robots. What's it going to take to have a fully autonomous data center where all it is robots and we can stick them on the moon? What's that going to take? Anyone know? Marty, you got a robot that can do cooling and fix your ACs yet?
We have the intelligence, but we don't have the robot. I don't even know if it's on our roadmap. But
it's not on your roadmap?
I don't know if we have a rack monitoring robot. But certainly, as you watch the robots, at least from my point, I got to meet the founder of Boston Dynamics and talk to him about the first, remember the Atlas robot and all those first robots. When you saw those first videos, you're like, wow, it was mind blowing just to see a robot walk on 2 feet. Like that was just phenomenal. And then carrying something, and that was years ago, and it's going so fast. So, and then now I see some of these videos, and you're like, is that real or is that AI? Like I'm really starting to doubt, some of what I'm seeing. So the capacity, it would make sense that it's there. I'm not seeing anything immediate, but I'm sure that that's happening out there right now in data centers.
I've seen some pictures, but they're not humanoids. They're not humanoid robots. They're like they run on wheels and they do. I know that they had used robot dogs for security for a little while, but it would be interesting to see.
Still do.
Yeah. I would be interested to see some humanoid robots inside the data center switching out stuff. That would be kind of trippy. We should all like pull out our popcorn. It would be Star Wars.
My client data center robots aren't humanoid, but they're chugging away doing stuff all day and all night, and it works.
Yeah,
fine. It's actually pretty amazing.
What do they do, Sean? What do those robots do?
A lot of rounds and readings at this point.
Oh, okay.
So you can capture, instead of having at start of shift, having your team do that, they can do it continuously. So temperature, air, robots can do thermal. So we can do proactive arc flash risk detection. I mean, it's incredible the safety and health stuff they can just do because they're wandering around all night long. They don't get bored or hungry. They don't need a smoke break. They just keep cruising around, taking pictures and doing readings and looking for red lights that are blinking, and
nice.
Pretty cool. So yeah, I don't think it will necessarily replace jobs. It will enable and create other ones kind of higher up the stack.
Mm-hmm.
More efficiency, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, yeah. I was talking to a buddy. He was at a building, and there was guys inside the building stealing the copper. And they called the police. They're in the building stealing it right now. And the police, they pulled up and they waited until they had about 10 police officers there to go in where the guys were stealing copper. And if you have one robot, you just send them in, right? That solves a big problem, right? You don't need 10 guys to go in the building. You got one robot to do it. So,
RoboCop, truly RoboCop, like basically. Yeah.
Big change.
Thank you, sir, for coming.
RoboCop. Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, Sean. We'll see you next time. Yeah. No, I think it's interesting.
Sorry, I have a bad signal today too.
You have what now? Oh, you haven't had signal today?
Oh, I have a bad signal today. It's lagging here, so I apologize.
No, it's fine. So if we think through,
try not to talk over you.
We think through the how we do, or if we're looking at edge sites and how we do that, and what is the obviously it's power, and I know because I do site selection all the time. But is there a thing that we could utilize existing infrastructure in some really cool way, like they were trying to do with the radio towers and the TV towers, right? So there was apparently my friend I met, David Moore, he was at Crown Castle. He said there was a startup that tried to do that, and then they realized that it's not viable. Like based off of the density of the sites, plus they're not necessarily co-located next to power. It just doesn't make sense to do radio towers and TV towers. They don't have enough power there. But is there something else that other than a power station or a substation? That one's
Right.
easy.
I mean, look at the tagline under Howie's name. It says
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have land with a small L, A-N-D, and he's got power with a capital P-O-W-E-R.
Right.
So that's driving everything, right? It's
Yeah.
all power. So it doesn't matter what land you got, and if you've got these towers and they're all over in there, right where you need them to be. I could have a TV tower right in the middle of an NFL city, but if I have no power,
Yeah.
it's useless.
Yeah.
Unless they build on-site power, that's a whole nother challenge.
Yeah, so that's what people would do, right? That's what I'm assuming. So you just need to be near a natural gas line and you just bring it in and you just build it yourself. No, I don't think anybody wants to wait around for even if it's 3 megawatts coming from the utility, nobody wants to wait anymore. Especially if you can just pull in a gas turbine and just go to town. Like, why would you wait? Like, why wouldn't
Amy,
you? I mean,
can
yeah.
you get Rick Perry on?
I don't know. I've met him in person. I've shook
Can you
the
get
dude's
Rick
hand,
Perry on your
maybe.
show?
We should for Fermi. We should.
Let's
That
hear
would be
about
good.
his project. I heard it got shut down because they didn't have air quality permits. But they're building that
Shut
mega.
up.
No,
I did
Mhm.
not hear that. When did they? Oh my gosh, that is so crazy. They're not in a
Earlier this month.
non-attainment. They're not in a non-attainment zone. They're out in the sticks in Abilene. So what the hell? Who did he piss off at the TCEQ? Oh, not good. All right. Well, I'll have to figure that one out.
Well,
Thanks for
he
breaking
knew
the news,
he knew where to
Howie.
get a loan.
I know
Department of Energy is giving really good loans.
they do. They do give you
there you
really
go.
good loans.
I just read that.
They do
Yeah.
give you really good loans. They do. They want as much as we want. Yeah, that is crazy town. I can't imagine they got shut. Well, they'll just work through it. And oh, by the way, I don't know how much Rick is in that. I know his son is in it, and I think he's a figurehead. Which, if I had Rick Perry to use, I would use him too. But I don't know how much I know his son is like full on into that Fermi America thing. But that would
Griffin.
be a big fail. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that would be a big fail. Well, that's okay because I'm working on a 10,000 acre site outside of San Antonio that's got a 2,500 acre solar farm on it. So we can be Fermi. They can fall apart and we'll go stick nuclear on ours and we'll do, 15 gigawatts. There you go. We got to up it. We'll do 15 gigawatts there. What do you think? And Martin's got to do my cooling as a service.
Yeah, watch out, Wonder Valley and their whole thing up in Alberta. That was what 13 gigs they were talking about.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Leary,
that basically doubled their capacity. One project doubled the entire country's capacity of data centers.
Yeah. I mean, they're plugging along up there, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah. There's obviously a lot of conversations and a lot of plans and big expectations. So it's definitely a gold rush out there.
It is. So I wanted to talk through this idea of, I think, and this is just call me crazy, but on these very large campuses, I know I get called crazy all the time. Imagine the Facebook, I've been a liar and I'm dumb. Okay. All right. So call me crazy too. But on these large campuses where maybe they're outside of the metro area a little bit, wouldn't it behoove whoever the land developer is, because usually it's not the data center guys, sometimes it is, to create like a master planned community? The data center is just part of that community. And therefore you have housing for your workers and retail, and you create infrastructure around it. So now you're not having to cart people out where they have to drive for hours to go wherever they need to go. And you support the community more, and you become the data center becomes centerpiece to it because of all the infrastructure that you're there to enable. And they've got great Wi-Fi. They're going to get fiber, whatever they want, unless it's all dark that the data center's doing. But still, like, don't you think that would be the next centerpiece to a master plan community is a data center? Why wouldn't it?
I mean, I think that's kind of happening today. Maybe not a master plan.
Yep.
Go ahead, Howie.
Howie's like, Amy, you're crazy.
It's happening, but if you read, Amy, if you look at your new 178 friends on Facebook, they say nobody wants to live next to a data center. I've been reading these comments, are great, but nobody wants to live next to a data center. That's according to them, these people. Maybe there's a group that does, but I've seen projects that have all tried to integrate some sort of data center in a metropolitan area where maybe they're building them. Like in Phoenix, I know they had a project where they were building movie studios, but no one's making movies now, so that's gone. So the AI just makes it for us.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I know. So yeah, I know. My 178 new friends. Yeah, there was one guy that was complaining that the data center built it within 300 feet of a child's home. And I'm like going, well, that just sounds like a normal setback to me that the community land code said. Like that's within that's the limits. They're building according to what the zoning and the ordinance and the codes are. Like, why are you blaming them that they're building it 300 feet away? That's where they can build it. Like, I don't get it.
My friend, zones and codes are for, but at the same time, though, maybe that data center should have had a charm offensive before they even went in. I don't know. Say, hey, we're going to lower your electric costs because we're going to do on-site power and we're going to feed power back into the grid at a lower cost, or we're going to don't know. I mean, I've heard of data centers doing all kinds of things for communities. Repaving the main road and adding new utility cables and.
Martin, we did a deal in Silicon Valley where it was old, and we transitioned a lot of semiconductor manufacturing fabs in Silicon Valley to data center because you got power, great sites, and they're contaminated. What else? You can't put a shopping center on it. You can't put residential. You're limited the amount of people that could be on that land and operate, but you could put a data center because you have limited amount of people, and it solved a problem. It was in the right place at the right time, and it's contaminated for a long time, unfortunately, with a semiconductor fab that was there. And that's repurposing appropriately. And again, they're not using water. It's closed loop system, much water. And,
No, Howie, that's brilliant, right? I mean, how can you repurpose existing? I mean, there's plenty of industrial, and we know this, you guys know this, plenty of industrial sites all across the United States and cities that have become deindustrialized, and they're impoverished, and these cities are not doing well because they lost the factory that used to make towels for a big towel company, or a factory that used to build locomotives for General Electric or wherever, and those are gone. So what have you got? You got a site which could be, contaminated. So people haven't touched it, like, oh, geez, I'm going to have to dig down 20 feet, reconstitute all of this. But if you can take that site, use the power, and put a data center there, wow. Well, I mean, could be real positive things for
and that's the point of what Amy's gone out and created here. When you're talking to the public and you're like, look, here's a great example of where that actually worked. And you might not like every case, but here's actually cases that did solve a problem where you had a problem.
Right. No, brilliant.
No,
so good luck on your next post.
Thanks. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to do a tour.
I don't think you can pick anything more politicized than data centers.
I know. No, seriously. I'm starting the Data Centers Are Not Evil tour. And I'm going to go around and we're going to have people and they're going to throw tomatoes at me. It's going to be awesome. And I'm going to sit there and try to educate people.
They posted your LinkedIn page on there.
They did what? My LinkedIn. Oh, so now I'm going to get it. Now it's going to cross collaborate and it's going to go over cross pollinate and go over to LinkedIn. And they're going to start
they put it in the. It's in the chat. Here's Amy.
Here's Amy. This is what she does. All right, have at it. Well, that'll be interesting.
And the underlying data center developer.
That's great. I love it. I love it. That's so cool.
Wear it with pride, Amy. Wear it with
Can-
I
pride.
am not.
you
So this
unfriend
is
me,
all by
please?
this one. By the
Can
way,
you
this
unfriend
all.
me because I don't want to get.
Yeah, my sponsor might not sponsor me anymore. Hey, all publicity is good publicity. There you go, Howie. No, I don't know. It's definitely interesting. It blew up because yesterday it was like at, I don't know, 70 comments. So this is all from this morning and today. The 100 comments is all from that. By the way. So I
It's
mean,
good. I
like
mean, you're really you're by doing that. I mean, you're really uncovering
yeah,
this this feeling that's in our society, and
yeah.
it needs to be addressed. I mean,
I know. I
we gotta,
know.
so it's a good thing. I think what you do is a good thing. It's like, hey, let's talk about this if we
Yeah,
can.
that's all I wanted to do was talk. Like it's having
Right.
a, what do you want to know? To ask me questions, and then I got. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny. I don't know. I love the fact that it's
Yeah,
yeah. Go Howie.
yeah. You're and even stuff like because you see stuff like is Israel paying you? Like like what are people? What
I
content are people getting that
is that really
that
in
they're
there?
like?
I
It's
did
like
not
we're
look at
being
the
manipulated.
comments.
It's TikTok that's doing it. I'm telling you.
I have not looked at the comments today. I've been
I'm
so
reading them while we're
busy.
sitting here. It's nuts.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at that. Look at Amy went viral. Oh, on Facebook of all
Well,
places.
it gives you
Yeah.
that you're already open the can, and you could say, well, show me some proof. Otherwise, why you
Yeah.
feel that way, and keeping
Yeah.
the conversation going. I think what you did with a few people, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I mean, yeah, that's what I try to do. Like, be accurate. Tell me what we like. And the one guy, they just make these blanket statements like, "Oh no, it's all public." No, it's not all public. I don't know what you're talking about, Willis. But yeah, no, it is interesting thing. Apparently, I got 100 more comments today. Okay, look at me. I just think that these conversations need to happen. But I'm serious about the data centers are not evil tour. I'm gonna call y'all up because I'm gonna be going around to a university near you talking about how data centers are not evil. Because I don't know, someone needs to have the conversation. I'll be your guinea pig. I'm your huckleberry. I can do that. I'll be your
It
huckleberry.
might be interesting to invite contrarian views
Yeah.
on your podcast, and
Oh, I'm all about it.
you know,
Yeah.
if someone's willing to have a reasonable conversation and go, hey, look,
Yeah.
you've got people who work in the data center industry every day, and we'd love to hear your opinion, and
Yeah.
let's talk. If you're willing
That's
to have
good. Great idea.
discourse,
I'll do that.
yeah.
I'll go get that judge, that Hayes County judge who got his thing voted down. I'll get him to come on the show. We'll
Yeah.
talk through it and see what he
Yeah.
says.
Let's
It
talk
would be interesting. All right, since you're on, Marty, we haven't talked cooling in a little while, so it'd be really cool. Is there something new besides liquid cooling and immersion? Is there something around the corner that we need to be aware about? That I mean,
So we're seeing more and more efficiencies coming out with new chillers. Johnson Controls just released a whole new line. We've also released, at least on the Johnson Controls side, master plans, like 1 gigawatt master plans on how do you cool this much compute and not having to design it all from scratch.
cool.
Certainly, we continue to see closed loop systems where there's zero water use. And that's just so important. That's really the standard now. I haven't seen anyone talking to me about evaporating towers and using millions of gallons of water. All that's just gone. Everybody's using closed loop systems. So I think we've kind of checked off that box on the water side. And, cooling to the chip is definitely here to stay, and that's not going away. And there's quite a few new technologies and things moving forward. 2-phase cooling to the chip instead of just sending water. You're sending water, and then you're sending another loop, which has a non-conductive chemical in it, which then changes phases from liquid to gas, and that helps remove the heat. And God forbid there's a leak, God forbid there's a leak. You're not pouring water all over your nice, beautiful rack of NVIDIA chips. So it's all going at a pretty good clip, and I keep seeing, which is so encouraging for me. It's like better energy efficiency. It just gets better and better and better, and the amount of like one generation to the next, 40% energy savings for a chiller. I mean, that's dramatic. So those are the kinds of things.
It's amazing.
Right.
So we're talking, and this would be interesting to know too. So like the Vera Rubin, they're saying they're not going to need to. So as chips don't have to be cooled off as much, they still need cooling. Like, let's be real, but then also the DC power non-AC conversion thing that would go straight into, what does that do on the cooling side? I'm interested, because we kind of started this topic last week. But
yeah, I mean, there's quite a few people talking about, doing 800 DC. I mean, if you look at something like a fuel cell, it's coming natively off at 800 DC. So there's a lot of benefits. You don't need the inverters and things like that. I'd almost look at the power and the cooling as really two separate things. Because once the power goes in, you've got a certain number of chips using a certain amount of power, generating a certain amount of heat. So how the power comes in doesn't really matter, because you've got chips using, generating a certain amount of heat. So, and that heat will be eliminated a whole bunch of different ways. I mean, you're going to have on-chip cooling, you're going to have immersion. People are building these data centers up as north as they can. We talked about Canada earlier, so how to use just the natural environment to do as much cooling as you can. So it's wide open. There's so many options on how to do that.
And then how many? I'm going to keep pinging you with questions, but Howie, jump in too. How many data centers are you seeing doing really cool waste heat reuse, like heat? Obviously, they're doing a lot of that in Europe around, like, we're heating swimming pools and we're using greenhouses and we're doing blah, 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 all those great things. Obviously, this administration isn't as a sustainability fan as Europe is, but still, I'm assuming that the data centers industry is still trying to look for, because it makes their data centers more efficient, right? And so if they're able to do reuse that heat, the exhaust heat, my question is, I'll eventually get there, is it starting to become more commonplace for technologies around how to reuse the heat?
Yeah, so it's not a sustainability question. This really is a money saving question.
That's true.
And the Europeans have gone, quite ahead of us in the States. But what I'm seeing quite a bit is so we all agree there's more on-site power coming, right? Everybody's like, hey, we need power. The grid can only carry so much. We're going to install recips, turbines, fuel cells, whatever it is. But if you're going to be doing that on-site power, the crazy stat that a lot of people don't realize is, a half or more of that power is wasted. And what I mean by that is, so let's say you're running a reciprocating engine, you're feeding it natural gas, you're burning it, it's turning the pistons, doing all its amazing work, generating power. Well, guess what? There's a stack, and out of that stack comes heat. And everybody knows heat is energy. So you got a half or more of the energy off that engine is going right up into space. So you can recycle that using heat absorbers. So we capture the heat, we feed it into an absorption chiller, and we deliver chilled water. And here's the crazy stat. So let's say you had 30 megawatts of generation. You can get 12 megawatts of free cooling. So just capturing that heat, you can turn it into 12 megawatts of chilled water. So it's dramatic. The savings are dramatic. Tens, hundreds of millions of dollars in savings. So, and then offering that as a guaranteed service, which is what we do. And I don't mean this to make it a big sales pitch, but how do you make sure those absorbers are running properly and delivering the right outcomes? Because they require maintenance, and that's certainly one way to do it.
And they're attaching those through the closed loop system, so it all becomes a part of like one system, correct?
Yeah, well, no.
Or
It's
no?
so it captures the heat. It goes into a separate absorption chiller. It's a totally different kind
Oh,
of
different
chiller.
chiller. Okay. All
Totally
right.
different chiller. This chiller takes hot air, turns it into steam, turns that steam into chilled water using lithium bromide. It's really a practical chiller. Technology has been around forever.
Yeah,
We've been
yeah, yeah.
manufacturing them for 60 years. This isn't
I know. I know.
new.
It's crazy town. So is the chiller then used for air cooling inside of the data center, or is it used for
It can be
liquid
used
cooling?
for, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
either one.
delivering chilled water. So whatever you
Okay.
want to do with that chilled water, you can use it for your chip cooling, you can use it for the IT space cooling, just the building cooling.
Yep.
You got
Okay.
chilled water, put it to work.
Interesting. That is super cool. That is super
It
cool. I
is.
know.
It
I
is
mean,
really
look, at
is.
the end of the day, we've got this bad label, and it's just so stupid because the data center industry, I mean, first of all, let's be real. Most of them all come from California. If you don't think that they're not green hippies in California, like, hello, I know Howie's like not the only, but they're all about sustainability. Like Google, Meta, Amazon, they're all based in California, Washington, on the West Coast. Like that's why I don't understand. Like the only person that you could legitimately yell at might be Elon Musk. And that's okay because he built, XAI and ran the diesel and he didn't care. Like he's the only one. Like I just don't understand like why you would give the data center industry a bad name when they're all California hippies. No, okay. All right. I'll stop saying that.
Are you throwing Howie under the bus here, Amy? Is that because you
Howie
got
doesn't
Tennessee,
claim
you got Tennessee,
California.
Texas, and California on the call?
I know California doesn't claim. Yeah, or Howie doesn't claim California. I'm just kidding.
I'm
an
trying
odd
to
duck.
protect Howie's location because he's
An odd duck in California, yes.
You are an odd duck in California. All right. Well, look at that, man. Look, our hour goes. These shows just go like crazy. They're so much fun, and now I'm viral on Facebook, so we'll get more fans of the show. All right, this will be awesome.
Nice.
Okay, Marty. Since somebody want to get a hold of you, sir, how could they do that?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. Martin Renkus, RENKIS. Love this.
And apparently, you are the only one. Apparently. Oh, I
On
haven't even
LinkedIn?
looked. I think you're the only one on LinkedIn. I think I'm the only Amy Palvido on LinkedIn too. I don't think I'm
Yeah, it's
Liz.
nice having a unique last.
Yeah, it's pretty groovy. It's pretty groovy. But
I
now
think
that
there's
I'm on
only one
Facebook,
Howie
everybody's
on
gonna.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, I know. Only one Howie.
I'm the Howie Berry of LinkedIn.
You are?
Yeah.
Is there only one Howie Berry of LinkedIn? Is there? Of all the millions of people?
There's other Howard Berries, I think.
Ah, rats.
My dad was
Okay.
Howard Berry. My grandfather was Howard Berry. Everybody's doing it. Yeah.
I'm still on LinkedIn now.
Yeah. All right. Howie, how can someone get a hold of you, sir? Facebook.
I'm also on LinkedIn, but not Facebook. Don't link me through Amy. I'm also at howard.berry, BERRY at avisandyoung.com. My team specializes in data center sites for development. So
Exactamundo.
and there is power out there.
Yes, there is
And we're
power
not
out
scorching
there.
the earth.
And we're not scorching the earth, and we're not polluting the air, we're not polluting the water, and we're like, whatever, y'all. Like, but we are enabling, cures for new diseases and the ability for you to talk to people around the world and all the things you've gotten used to that we can't do anymore because we're running out of compute.
Right.
Yes,
We're
I
making
know.
your TikTok better.
We are making your TikTok better. We're actually the only reason TikTok exists is because of data centers. Like seriously,
There
dumb
you go.
people. Exactly. All right. Well, I am also
Amy.
supposedly on Facebook. I don't know. I think this might be a random doppelganger of mine, and also LinkedIn. But thank you guys for coming. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, Amy. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, Howie.
See ya. Bye.